Okay, David, this is the June 24th, 2022 lesson. The swing's really good, okay? And it's actually better than we thought. So let's just play this thing through. See that? I mean, it's freer than ever, and you're getting through. Look, you're turning, and you can hold that pose. And here's the thing that's making it. Look at the shaft right on your forearm. I mean, that's like brilliant. Okay, that's what we've been working for. And if it's on the forearm, as you get the shaft parallel to the ground, clubs inside your hands, which is exactly where it should be. And you know, a lot of it is this great elbow actions going on. You know, you're keeping the left cheek against the back wall, which is good. But this is really good swing. Okay. Now, so hold that in mind and celebrate it. Now, to make a good swing even better, this is what I'd do, is I'd get rid of, we talked about this, I'd get rid of this little pre-shot thing. See how this thing is all wrist, the shoulders haven't moved, and if they do move, they're horizontal. There's no way that left shoulder is going to get under your chin. So I'd like to see you mimic it, your real swing. You know, like Mike Weir or DeMarco took it 3/4 of the way back, and most of the young bucks take it back till it's parallel, but do it with your shoulder. So we talked about that. That would help things. Then, but so in the real takeaway, see how the butt of the club goes slightly inside. It's really good, really good. Okay, so now we talked about the club slinging inside. It, you know, in this case, it didn't cause any great trauma, but you have to work harder because you know you're like 45 degrees off plane, and then you have to work to get it back, and then you overcook it, and then so it's you know too shallow. Then you overcook it's too steep, and then when you come down, you know, so it, you know, here it is, you know, it's at this juncture, it, you know, it's set up, the butt of the club is set up somewhere in, you know, in here or something. So it's steep, and it takes perfect timing and a mid-swing correction, mid-downswing correction to get it on plane. But in this case, you did it. So you just make it simpler if you just take it and keep it on plane at the top. You know, and that's merely a forearm rotation. You know, you've milked the left. The right elbow pointed down perfectly. Okay. So then you know we're now if you can do this every time, then we're at ball flight dynamics, which is what we did earlier this morning. So that's huge progress. From this angle, you know, it shows you know you're working on that little sit down move. That's fine. So. Okay, so you know we talked about, you know, you're lining up towards the toe of the club. Okay, so here's the takeaway. And as I said before, see how that left knee? That's as far as you can get back. You know, you can still see, this is your driver, and you can still see the right shoulder. What I like is, see, the upper body is leaning away from the target. That's good. But if you get the left knee, instead of it's angling towards the target, if you get it pointed back behind the ball, then you'll get like 15, 20 degrees more rotation, and you know a more powerful swing with less energy. So anyway, I recommend, as I said, doing that. Then when you come down, what happens is, okay, so you're doing the Genghis thing where you get side saddled, but you haven't really shifted your belt buckle. See, at this point, the good guys have moved their belt buckle almost to where the left hip started, and you come through impact, your belt buckle is about in the middle of those yellow lines, and pros, okay, their belt buckle. See how your belt buckle is now at that intersection? Okay, that's where their belt buckle is at impact. So, and I think part of the problem too is as you come down, see you got that pointed leg, and you don't go to the post. See, the good guys will get it outside that yellow line as that, but shortly after it, bam, they posted back. Now watch this. When you finally post, see it, you post, that thing goes back. See that going back? You're posting, and if that goes back, the left hip goes back. And if the left hip goes back, you get away from that half of chicken wing. See how that left arm, you don't have the tug-of-war thing at this point? That's because the hip hasn't cleared. But if you snap that back early enough, that left hip will be out of the way, and you'll get to that point of the tug-of-war where both arms are straight, and the extension of the two arms is your club. So, and then we talked about, see, your head gets ahead of you a bit here, and we want, at this point, their head is still behind the ball. So you feel like your lower body is thrust up and back, and your nose is still pointed down here. So there's a short time, there's the dreaded reverse C, but it's just a short time.